YouTube, if you'd like to win one of 5 of these Gatling Gun soldiers that has been 3D printed, please hit the like and subscribe button, and you'll go into a draw that will be drawn at the end of February 2025 for your chances to win one of these. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you in the video. Thank you for watching. I'd like to do a couple of different versions and series of different complex models. If you saw the last couple of videos I did, you'll know that I have a few ways of doing different supports on complex models, and I thought it'd just be good to show different models. So I sculpted this one in ZBrush as well. It's a Gatling Gun soldier, part of the toy set series created. If you want to see that, it's at www.creativetoys.org. I'll put a link in the description of the video. Please go check that out, support my work. So another thing, if you do get any helpful hints or tips from this, please hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. I'd like to continue to grow on YouTube as well. So here we go. I've already done the fast track up to this point of doing an island detector. Like I said before in the previous video, this is pretty accurate. It does pick up all the islands. I don't really get failures doing it this way. And I showed 2 versions on my first video, and my second video I showed another version. In this one, I'm going to be, going back and relying on the first version more. So the more complicated it is, the less likely I am to hit this add support. If I select this, I'm going to show you the craziness that happens and why this isn't good. Kind of explain it in the first one, but you can see how many supports have been added to the back of this and all of this as well. So literally this will be a nightmare to rip off. It would be like a solid block, and it would probably do a lot of damage to the model itself. So it's practically useless. And like in the second version, sometimes I'll do this and I'll go through and I'll start deleting all these and then add my own in and work around it. But this is too much of a mess to do that, and that's why I don't use that technique for this particular model, as opposed to what I did with the heavy gunner model. So I'm going to hit back, and unfortunately you got to go through some painful like it's hard not to make a video like this not semi-boring, because the nature of this work is what it is. If you want to learn how to do this, unfortunately you've got to go through some of the boring nonsense that comes with doing this type of work, whether it's like UV mapping or so it's starting to stretch out, so I'll add another 2 here. Once again, this is more about supporting the weight than it is about the islands. So I don't know if I described islands, so I guess anyone who's new to kind of doing 3D printing, I should describe islands, what that's about. So literally, an island is the beginning stages of where the layer first hits, and the 3D printer needs support because it's floating in thin air. So there's nothing here for it to hold onto the build plate. So this is an island. This is the first one. If there's nothing here, then as it's coming out of the vat, it will have nothing to form off, and literally you will have a 0 print. And as you go through your model, you'll find these islands exist. See, it's a starting point. It's like this could still form. Like this island isn't 100% necessary because it might not fail, but you'll have a kind of a missing chunk here. I'll support that from the ground, and I'll take a look again. Once again, the biggest issue is having these too close to the base, and I don't like that, as the 3D printers can slightly warp slightly warp your model, which can make those stick exactly there. I think that needs to be it's working. Selections. So I like to keep it as far away from the base as possible. So let's have a look. Okay, we're going to allow some of the work to happen, and we're going to do some of the work ourselves. This here, usually it's going to be supported. You know, we don't want, well, I don't want, see that's not going to work. Just that. I don't want a support running from back here all the way over there. Most of this will be picked up by the add support, automatic supports. So usually, you know, we don't have to worry about that. But anyway, I'm skipping a step. Going back to the base, because the foundation in any building is the most important part. Once again, like I did prior, I like to go through and support my base and think about how the weight goes up. You know, get further and further away. Lesser and less supports, as it's, you know, more about, like I said, just the suction and gravitational pull of the mesh in the back at this point. So, and then onto kind of 3-ish there. Looks like it's missing something there. Maybe not too bad. And then what I like to do, the reason I like to do the bracing early on like this and break it up is it's just easier to be able to isolate where I want that bracing, because I don't want it bracing everywhere. It makes it hard to rip off. Again, like congregation of supports at the back of here, and then they all got braced, would be a nightmare. One thing I do want to do is make these tips 20. I usually like to keep, that's a weird anomaly there. I usually like to keep my diameter sitting at 30 while I'm making. It does something weird in Lychee Slicer, that the tips go funny when you set it on 18. They can go really thin, or look thin anyway. Okay, stuff like that is a weird island, can be supported usually of itself. Don't need to have a, you know, doesn't look like it's doing that. I'm not getting into the issue of the problem, I think. Let's zoom in closer. No, the island's not there, it's not there. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Okay, let's find that island. This one not working. There it is. More towards the edges, just a weird island. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, it's not. Maybe it's something inside the mesh. Sometimes you gotta check that itself. And it is. There we go. It is. It's inside the mesh, and that's what these tutorials are for, really. Just to, you know, troubleshoot. And I've done a lot of troubleshooting over my many years of doing 3D printing. I come through and try to get some of these myself, because the automatic support can do weird things. Once again, it's like an internal issue. It's a really thin wall. What's going on? It's on the inside there. Okay, most of all of this, except for the bullets and the bullets at the back here, um, I'm going to let the automatic supports deal. So I just want to see how far that is from the base. It's right at the back. Should be. It's a good foundation, I think, and I can go from there and just branch off, getting some of these. Just for extra support on the weight, I would actually like to add more to the back of his head there, because there is a fair bit of weight or pull in that coming this way as well as that way, so I'd like to support that. But the biggest mess is all these bullets, right? And I don't want automatic supports. I've got a million supports at the back here. So, as you've seen prior, I like to come in here, and this one here at the bottom, oops, I want to be doing that, setting off automatic supports. I like to put that there, and then I can build off that by sprouting off that one at the bottom. As you can see, this will, what you got to be careful of is not creating like this thick brick line, and the further you stretch this out, you can have other types of issues as well. So I've kind of learned there's a maximum stretching point that this kind of works, and then you're just better off adding that next support stem. Plus that helps once again with the weight. You know, it plays a role as it's supporting it up. This one, and then I might do the same there, and then I can branch off that there with the majority of all of that. It's kind of a weird area. And I got this side right, so once again, the bottom one here is not necessary. I'll support that just for the weight purposes, and I could probably branch from that to that. Might be stretching it. Yeah, that will work. And even that first bullet right there, I think that would actually be fine as well. Might be stretching it there, so for that bullet I'd actually add one in between. Yeah, we'll leave that area for the next boom. There we go. We've got all this mess in here, all these overhangs, all these islands will be supporting. And you know what? I think a majority of these will be supported from its own. And these things look a little big here, but when I shrink it down to 18, they will be pretty easy to clean off, just running a brush over most of these. I'm going to add one here just for the weight. And I'll branch off that. Just save a little bit of cleaning. See that stretching. I'll add another one here for the weight. And then I'll do a branch. Not follow the branch for that. Fast stretch. There we go. Another fast stretch. I might do support that off itself. There we go. That's and you can see, and that now just like in the first model, I showed how easy it was to rip this off. I'll show it again once I've successfully printed it. I know it will succeed. So now we're going to another complex area. Yeah, yeah, and see, I'm starting to stretch it out. I want to go that far. I'm going to give this a little extra support from this way, and then starting to stretch out again too. And that's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to avoid having too many supports to tear away, like I said before. So this, taking that time to just do this saves you so much time later. And, you know, the thing is that once you've done this, once you've accomplished, you know, setting this all up, this
model, and this save is there forever. So I can reprint this over and over. If I wanted to, I could sell this um, digital file already pre-supported as well. Because once the work is done, you don't have to do it again. You know, so you just take the time, set this up right. Um, go for a stretch again there. So I will, and let's see. Sometimes when you're having issues, it's more of the camera problem. But I think the AI can, if you're at a funny angle, just shift your camera around if you're having any issues. And as we're coming up here, you can see now I can run supports back down to support this curvature that's around here. So I'm going to add supports. That's it. And then just going to support themselves. I'm going to look around, see whether else. See if I don't take care of some of these, this auto supports might actually shoot supports up in this weird manner when I know a lot of this can be just taken care of, supports running back down. And like I said, cleaning these things up just takes a quick brush to run over it and it'll just knock these supports off. So they're not a big issue. You don't have to sit there and clip these tiny little supports off. So it doesn't hurt the model by doing this at all. Maybe even add a little strength to some areas the model might be weak in. Oh, self-support. This is a pretty big island, a lot of weight here as well, so I'll add a main branch and add all the branch-like structures. I'll do the same thing here and then give it a little bit more grab, but I should say placement for the island to grow from. So I'm able to do something weird there. Do the same thing here. And my train of thought, just like when I was doing the female sniper, is that as this is coming up out of the vat, these are crucial areas, because it needs support, it needs weight supported, it needs its island supported, so just take that time to really put that effort in, giving it that little bit of extra oomph. And if anyone else is watching this that has been doing this maybe longer than I have or has more expertise with lychee slicing, please leave a note in the comments. Can help me grow and learn new things. We're always, learning and trying to better ourselves, and that's kind of the stance I take. I'm no master, no expert. I just do what works for me. Just sharing that. So please share. I've got a lot to learn still. Learning CGI and 3D software is just so much. So I guess it depends on what you want to do. Character artist, you're doing this just solely for 3D printing. There are so many aspects to it, but there's so many programs to learn, and it can all be a little bit of bewildering. So it's good that there is a good community that shares, you know, the ins and outs. See, there's an island that forms here, but it's a weird one because it kind of runs through it. But I am going to put one there. nonetheless. I'm going to stretch that. See, that red one means it's going through the mesh. We don't want that. So they come from a different angle. And just like most 3D modeling, 3D objects, you always have to rethink how something's going to work. If you're remeshing something for animation, you have to think about how that mesh is going to bend and transform. And it goes for the same with this. You got to think, there's only so many people, educational videos before you just got to do it yourself. So again, I'm doing that to support the weight, because I'm coming out to the side, so it's got a nice even. And I would really like to get these bottom ones, and this one here because it's right underneath and pretty far from the thing. I'd actually like to go in here and make it like a support pillar. That just helps give it a little bit of support from there. Let this one go from that. This is more of an internal thing. It doesn't need anything like that. And that goes to these as well. These are just damage in the mesh that I purposely put scarring and damage in the helmet, and these are battle. Thanks for that. And that kind of detailing can act funny in the slicer, so it picks it up as a non-manifold problem. Okay, that's pretty good. I want to get this one too because I know it's going to probably do something funky. See some here. Like that. Split itself out. Yeah, I've got one here. Once again, this is one of those areas that I'll just take a little bit of time. Give that extra support. Stuff a hell of a lot of values. Now let's have a look at this. I think it might be running too close. See, this is an issue in itself as well, because when this is getting close to the mesh, if there's any little bit of warping, this will get stuck to this. So we don't want, so this one's far enough. We don't want that close, and that is much better. And not only that, these two together will support each other as they grow out of the vat. You could probably give it just a little bit more room. And then that's pretty good. Let's check the island that was growing from there. It's going to come out. That's pretty good. A lot of little bits and pieces in there. Alright, I am kind of happy to see what the automatic support would do from there. So I'm going to hit it. Oh, sorry, I hit bracing. We don't want bracing. Shit. I'm going to go back to islands and add auto supports. Okay, that's pretty good. So it's taking care of all those little bits and pieces inside of that mesh. That was messy. I've got 0 islands detected, and I've got a heap of nonsense in here. Feel this? None of all this needs to be in here. Making it a mess to clean up. If I hit back, you see all the stuff that vanishes. There it is. There it's gone. There it is. There it's gone. But it does take care of a lot of the work, and I just need to rethink this. And this is where I use a combination of both now. So, what can change? Let's have a look here. What can change is there are supports that aren't needed. Let's take these off. It's getting probably close to the base as well. Oh no, it's pretty far away, that one. Got some here. I don't know where that's leading. That's underneath there. So you can see that it's not even needed. Watch this. Let's do that and self-support. Like I said, it's not a big issue. Oh, this one's got a self-support. Yeah, you can do that there. We don't need one there. Um, now, see, don't know where we can. See that, see that, can probably come back down into that. Let's shoot it there. And once again, if you do get any tips or help from this, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps me yeah, grow. Okay, so what have we got happening here? Obviously something over there, but you'll probably find that this can be supported by itself too, so it's just excess cleaning that's just not necessary. So these ones you'll need snips for, as opposed to these smaller ones, but if you just run a little toothbrush, and once you pull it out of the the alcohol, cleaning alcohol, the brush will break most of these tiny things off and clean it off quite nicely. This is overkill that the AI is doing, completely unnecessary. I don't mind the stuff inside here. It's not an issue. You can actually just leave it in there, just adds to the strength of the gun. Okay, that's a pretty big mess over here now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. You know, this is what the AI is doing. Okay, let's rethink this for the AI's sake. No, it's a bit of a stretch. But this here, okay, coming from that direction, and then adding extra support. That created a bridge, right? That bridge now can help support with this other stuff. Just from this one, so it needs 6 up here. It's not necessary. Just excess cleaning, and we don't want that. That can self-support from its own mesh. And like that. Trying it again. A little finicky there. Anyway, let's quickly wrap up these last ones because we're pretty much all there. Once again, self-support. Some of these aren't even really islands. Like, you don't really need to do anything there. I'd like to make the computer happy though. Just get it. Support that's hidden away. You're not going to really see it. I've got 0 islands now. I'm going to relook at some stuff. See if I can't. Even this one's useless. I can come up from under here. Get a little extra support in itself. As long as this grows before this one gets there, this will grow with it and join it and help it along with some. And it's growing out of the vat first. That's what you got to think of. Put one there because it's further away from the base. Now I got some stuff here I'm not happy with, which is too close to the base. If you ask me, I can move that one, that one, this one here too close. Let's just be safe rather than sorry. All these times are underneath it. Okay, so I will also move this over forward. What I do is I select that, start going into bracing now, see where I can help support these things. See, this is just floating in midair. Alright. So what I like to do is give it a little support as it's growing out of that vat, like that. And then that just helps, you know, these supports not, grow like they're supposed to. If, let's just say we let that hanging and for whatever reason some vibration happen and this didn't form, um, you know, this continues to print into nothingness and it forms problems in your vat because it's going to start affecting your print and can possibly cause failures in that way as well. So um, the easiest solution is to try and get one in the middle here, and then you can just brace them all together. And then I just know there's going to be an issue there, and I can just move these away from each other, keep them close down there. And then what I can do, come in here, get the brace. Something I don't like, but that's okay, that'll probably rip off pretty easily. Come here, get the bracing. That's pretty good. I'll get support there. And get this out of the way from the base. And I think the gun's pretty good. So let's go around. We're at 0 islands now, I think. Yep, 0 islands, no issues. Now let's see what needs bracing. Let's give it that little extra help. This is kind of floating off by itself. There's a possibility that it could fail. Two together though. Now that's causing too much. I don't know why it's done that. I only want these two to brace. That's it. I don't want it to get inside and create a massive mess. These two are forming together, so it's like a strong tree. So less likely to get any failures there. These in here. Oh, spawned in the wrong one. That one and that one. That's good. Oh, camera angle's weird. Okay. So this one. Let's put that. These two together. Good. And this one and this one. Do that. And now we can go through. Put some bracing on these ones. The edges. Brace them. Nope, we don't want that. It's too messy, too complicated. Let's just stick individual ones. The algorithms only need two together. Let's fix it up. Go together. And this one. Go together. And then this and this, I presume. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I guess we'll see if it succeeds, but I have a pretty good feeling it will succeed. No worries. And then we'll see how easy it is to rip all this off. And saying that, let's check. So these should be sitting about 20 millimeters, or 0.20, I should say, not 20. These should be sitting at 30. Yep, 30, and the rest of these are still at 30. So what we need to do now is come in here, select them all. I'm going to, because some of them are 18, I'll just change to 18 for now. So grab it, and I'll come here. Actually, I want to make sure they're smaller ones, like 18. That should be 18, 18. Good. And that should rip off pretty easy. Alrighty then. Let's move to the next stage. Just one more check the island. Make sure there's no islands. Don't want to duplicate it, but still have an island. Problem. Let's rotate this. How is it going to be best to fit all? Let's say I want at least 10. Uh, Lengthwise looks pretty good. Let's see if I can get 10 on here. Like this. Go all the way down here. A little bit of red in that zone, it's not be an issue. Just wait for it in that area. Suction is still there, so it's not an issue. Let's go 10. Let's keep arrangement. Like I said, the AI will place that pretty stupidly. Won't fit most of them in the box, even though I can get them in there. No issues. Let's see. So I'm going to stack 3 in this direction. So that. Uh, we've got a bit of leg space. I can. Looks like I might be only going to get 9 onto this one, but we'll see. I'll see if maybe can rotate some stuff and get it in there. Nah, it's pretty dense. So I can get this. If I put in 10, it's going to be 11 here. Should be right. Yeah, that's 11. I rotated that. Nah, let's not be greedy. Alright, 9 it is then. Not too bad. Okay. Since we got a room, bit of room back here, let's get some breathing room and some suction room. Because the heavier the land mass in one area, and I'm using the Elegoo Saturn 4. Really good printer, has a tilting vat mechanism, so the suction really isn't a problem anymore. Really isn't. Let's save my work. Do that again. Gatling Gun 2.0. Yes, we're going to replace that. Okay, let's go into exports. I'm going to go Elegoo Saturn. Like I said, this is already all set up in here. I've got all the settings, and I might do a quick tutorial on that later. But when it comes to Elegoos, you can most likely leave it standard for what you want. So your lychee slice has already got that all organized. You can put resin in it. It might alter depending on the resin. Like if you're using like a wax type of resin, to change some of the parameters, and they have that there anyway. Anti-aliasing is useless for small models, so I wouldn't recommend putting that on at all. So I keep it off. On larger models, it works nicely. If you put that on, you actually lose details on smaller models. So I've learnt, and so I've found from experience. So we're saying I've got 3 islands still hanging here, and that's what I was talking about. Now if we go hunting for that little white dot, is it necessary? Will this print if I don't go do this? Yeah, most likely. But like I said, I like to keep the computer happy and stops any issues. It's kind of like finding Wally, spot this little white dot amongst all the nonsense. You know what? I can't even find it. I will then. I will. I might fast forward this bit. Is it on this one? Oh, it keeps leaving me there. No, it keeps leaving me over here. So I'll just track the camera, track it. It's doing something weird, it's not letting me pull any closer. Yeah, see the issues with digital art. It's not perfect. These cameras don't work the way you want them to work all the time. Let's bring it back into here. I see it. Nope. That's okay. A pain in the butt. Pull out and observe from here. You know what's funny is picking up islands on, even though they're exactly the same model, been supported exactly the same, they're only picking it up on one or two of the models. That's why I know there's probably not going to be any issues. The camera's not moving now. Alright, let's hit that again. Yeah, I am going to pause it. So don't bore you. Don't edit this part out. There it is there. You see that right there? That is what it's trying to show me. That is an island that is not being supported apparently. So let's get out of this view because it's not working properly. It's stuck there. Might just slice it. Come on. If anyone is in the development team with the slicing program, can you work on the camera to maybe undo it? It's saying it's down there. There's a red thing. Yeah, there's an island there too. See that? Gone. What's funny is that that's not even showing up on any of the other ones. But that little white dot, it looks like most of the islands are on this thing. Alright, I'm going to zoom out, try to come back in on this model from a different angle. Because obviously as the camera gets closer to these, it's freezing up and doing something weird. So I'll re-rotate and come in at a different angle. Bit of a pain, but such is the nature of 3D work. Now, yep, it's all on this model. That's really weird. See, no more islands left. So this model is the only one that had it. The exact same model, and it's the only one that has issues. Anyway, like I said, it's the nature of 3D modeling and 3D software. Now, if I go to exports, there won't be any islands showing. This model is the only one. Don't know why that was. That was the first one too, I believe. Anyway, that's that. That's done. So we export it out. Gatling Gun 2.0. It's been saved before because I had a different version. I'm going to overwrite that because I did some stuff to fix up. And that's all. So I hope this helped. If anyone's getting new into this, you can leave any comments and I'll try to answer them. If you got any suggestions for myself as well, anyone who's more of an expert at light slicer, you know, there's just so much with these softwares that, you know, that it's good to have a community that we can all share and learn from each other. So really appreciate that, and if you can hit the like and subscribe, I would really appreciate that as well. So okay, well, we'll see you into the next vid. Thank you for watching.